Hello, RWorld, and welcome back to RWorldTalk. Thank you for joining us for episode number 4. I have with me today a good friend. I seem like I always say that I've got friends that are joining us on our podcast here, but we do have Mrs. Jessica Lowe, who is joining us. She is our association staff. I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about who she is and what she does. But we will, I guess, kick it off there. Most of the people who are watching already know who the fabulous Miss Jessica Lowe is. But for those of you who think that she is just the big bad lady that, yells at you to keep your camera on during Zoom orientation, which finally we're getting away from. Why don't you let us know who you are and what you do for the association?
Well, thank you, President Chris. It's my honor to be number 4 on the podcast list. I am so excited that we have launched this amazing program for our members. But as the Senior VP of Programs, that's pretty much my world, is the programs, supporting the members, education, affiliates, global. We also work in the space of community outreach and having that realtor image out in the community very frequently so that our community partners and our constituents out there know that we're loving on our communities because that's what realtors do and that's who we are.
Awesome. I love that you touched on community outreach because that is traditionally has always been one of my favorite places to serve within the association. We do some incredible things. So thank you for your involvement there. Obviously, the association puts together some really fantastic programs, many of which you lead, a couple you just touched on. So what's your strategy for bringing together a successful program?
Well, really, it's member input. That's the secret sauce to everything we do at RWorld because we are so driven by our members' needs and their wants. And that's, as staff, we're not realtors. And full disclosure, I never was a realtor.
Okay.
So everything I've learned in my position in my 10 years has been through education, taking designations, learning, going to conferences, talking with members and understanding what they need and what their pain points are. And then coming to the table with our resources. We have a tremendous amount of resources, both in talent, volunteer leaders, committee members. We have other organizations that want to be a part and be a partnership with us. So we're able to put on so much just, value into that realtor space by leveraging what we have at our access.
Okay.
So it's really a question of, who do we know? Who do we need to ask? And then how do we put it all together and make it valuable?
Okay. So that was actually another question that I was going to ask you. So we'll get right into that. You obviously meet a lot of realtors, whether it be through community involvement, education programs, new member orientation. With meeting all those realtors, tell us why you think that relationships are important besides maybe just getting to know what their pain points are and what kind of programming we could bring to them. What else do we have to offer?
Well, really, the relationships is where you get the confidence. So I might think of like the most amazing idea, thinking it's going to be, so innovative and so cool. And I think just everyone needs to do this type of class or this event. And then I'll go to my friends who I've learned to really trust their input. They are the practitioners. You guys, the realtors, you are out there doing the business. And like I said, I never did. So when I have that confidence with members and I say, I love this idea. What do you think? That relationship kicks in and they'll either give me a good idea or give me some feedback or tell me that's not going to work because it's not realistic. And then I'll be like, well, then there you go. That's why we have the relationship because Fantastic. It works. But really, it's just, the relationships of my 10 years here, I've grown so much and I've met so many amazing people. And I may not have an idea right at that moment or a class topic right at that moment for that subject matter expert, but I remember and I will come asking when I'm ready to write that course or to do that event because I know that I have people kind of in the coffers that are ready, willing, and able to give time, talent, and treasure.
Okay. Time, talent, and treasure. That's awesome. Love that. Okay. So we just wrapped up a fantastic event that I know that you had a lot to do with and your bestie had a lot to do with. The Women Rock the Biz Summit in Delray Beach. Amazing speakers, incredible content. It was just an incredible day of learning and inspiration from really powerful women. So why do you think it's essential that we spend time to spotlight successful women from all backgrounds and all industries? Because we had people there that had nothing to do with real estate whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So what's the whole game plan that goes into programming something like that?
Well, this was actually, and a shout out to the Affiliates Committee because this was an innovation of the Affiliates Committee. They knew that conferences come and go and we have all kinds of events that are speaking specifically into real estate. But what we wanted to do was show that although real estate is a unique profession, the pain points, the challenges that oftentimes are, just present for any of realtors, not just females, but they are not unique in other industries. Those types of struggles, personality, how do you handle conflict? How do you respond when things are uncertain and a market changes and a global pandemic takes over your business? Things are very precarious in that industry, in any industry. So the way someone can adapt and handle and respond, it transcends all professions. So
and those relationships are really important too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And so that's why when we looked at the event and putting together something that was going to be empowering and educational and really give some tangible skills and some tangible guidance for women, but all realtors really, we really wanted it to speak in other levels. So that's why we started bringing in people from sports representation and different areas that are even male-dominated areas, because those pain points are also in real estate, and they transcend, the advice that they gave at the event transcends to all of the professionals that were there.
Yeah, you think about the NFL. I mean, the NFL, obviously a heavily male-dominated industry, and to see that senior vice president of marketing.
Incredible.
It's incredible to see that you've got a really, really powerful woman that is leading all the marketing efforts and branding efforts for an industry as large as the NFL. I mean, that's quite incredible.
She was so inspirational because not only did she do that, did she really break barriers in the NFL space, but even in PepsiCo, when she was at PepsiCo, she was really instrumental in inviting and really kind of encouraging more of the Hispanic populace into the culture of the American, music and soda and all of that kind of like entertainment world.
Right.
She was brought into the mix on that level to really help with the, Hispanic community to fold into that American culture. So at the NFL, she was brought in again to break the barriers and to really bring in more of our huge American culture with all those different cultural, subsects, but they were able to come into the one area of NFL football and entertainment. And then again, in our event, she was just speaking about just transcending all barriers and really making your own pathway.
Really awesome. And Aaron Pagan we had as well. Aaron Pagan from Anbar, who is sort of leading the charge on the consumer campaign, which we spoke about last week with Adam Case. Our commercials are working. Everybody's watching them. So that is it was really great to hear from her as well. Talking about global, you mentioned global as well. So our association obviously offers many ways to stay connected in the global arena, break down some cultural barriers, conduct business beyond all the borders that we have. So what are some ways that RWorld members can benefit from having a global membership? And if anybody doesn't know, it's very easy to join global, get your global membership and start taking advantage of all the offerings that we have. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Thank you. I feel like global is such a part of everyone's business here in South Florida that everybody, has a reason to learn more about global real estate. And what our alliance is really kind of championing is the educational need of crossing that bridge. You go through your pre-licensing, you kind of figure out how to do residential real estate, and then you find in South Florida that just about every customer you deal with is going to have an international something. So when you can kind of master that and know what questions to ask and know where to direct them and have the team of professionals ready, it opens up such a gateway to more of those international transactions. So what we do is we really try to offer a lot of education, a lot of networking opportunities so that realtors who've never done...
Networking is key.
Especially with
all about relationships.
Those other practitioners that need to be a part of your team, your CPAs and your immigration attorneys. So we really try to provide a lot of those opportunities to bring the members together and learn from each other and create those, those relationships for those transactions. But also another best kept secret worldwide are referrals. Referral potential, it's not just here in Florida, it's not just in the United States. There are international realtor members all around the world who would love to make some friends with South Florida realtors because they know those investors are coming and they're buying our property for second home, for resort. They're relocating, businesses are relocating to Florida. So it's such a huge untapped market, that referral piece, just being able to have a friend that's a realtor in another country to create that relationship with and send those buyers to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a lot of Canadians that are moving down, not necessarily moving down, but coming down to South Florida in droves. We see right now we're in season, so all the license plates turn white because you see a lot of people that are coming down to visit South Florida from Quebec. Those people are spending money.
Yeah,
they're looking for property.
Yes, we do.
And as well from Europe, we have a lot of people coming from the UK. We have Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, Florida,
Yeah.
a lot of money coming into South Florida, and even as far away as China. We still have some people that are investing there. So referral business, you think about referral business across the country, you want to get to know people from different states, but it's definitely important for our realtor members to make sure that they're making connections in other countries as well. Speaking of other countries, do we have any cool trade missions coming up this year?
Well, I will say back in 2022, we had 2 amazing trade missions. We spent a week in London for the Property Mart conference, and then we spent a week in Brazil for the Embrace with Cofesi, our partners down there, because we are the ambassadors to Brazil and to the UK. So we really want to make sure those relationships are solid.
I had a little bit of FOMO when I saw your Facebook photos when you were out there. It was so cool to see your travels last year, that's for sure.
Yes, and so we really this year are capitalizing on virtual trade missions. So we're going to do a lot of those, and it really helps kind of span that gap of members who want to go to a trade mission. They're not really sure how to capitalize on those opportunities. So we're thinking that these virtual opportunities kind of help prime them. And then in 2024, when we do have programs that we're actually going to those countries, then they'll be a little more confident in their education and in their knowledge base of just global real estate. But I also want to point out Florida Realtors, our state association, they have already published their entire calendar of trade missions for 2023. They've already been to Dubai. I know they have many other destinations and conferences on their schedule. So definitely go to floridarealtors.org, search out their trade mission calendar, and see about jumping on one of their programs.
That's a very good idea. I was just speaking with Deanna Hall, our CEO, just a couple of weeks ago.
I think I know her.
You know her?
I think so.
We were speaking about getting involved with like Florida Realtors committees or NAR committees, and you may not know what you like. So the best way to do that is just head up to FR, go to NAR, sit in on one of the meetings, and find out if the topic is even something that you like, if it's something that you'd be interested in. So obviously, we could do the exact same thing with Global. Yeah. You could jump on a virtual trade mission through Florida Realtors, through our local association, and find out if that's something that is going to interest you, if you like the networking capabilities that are there laid out for you, and if it's something that you are interested in, then obviously when we do head back to the UK or Brazil or Dubai or jump on one of the Florida Realtors trade mission trips, you'll already hopefully have some connections, so then you can get to know people face to face when you actually get there. So that's kind of cool. I love that we offer things like that, and especially virtually, obviously, is always an option for us.
Way more affordable.
Way more affordable, yeah. And you're still connected around the world. I remember one of my favorite, I wouldn't call it a class, but offerings that we had a few years back is when we had someone come in and they spoke to us about cultures around the world. So that way, if you do have somebody that comes in from another country that is maybe a buyer of yours or a seller of yours, you at least have some of the customs down. Things as simple as whether to bow or shake hands. I think there was actually a book like that.
It is a book, yes.
It is
Kiss,
a book.
bow, or shake hands.
Kiss, bow, or shake hands.
The Global Realtors Bible, yes.
The Realtors Bible. So, yeah, fantastic. I love that we have things like that and we offer classes like that. Going back to some of the classes that we offer, because obviously you do a lot of that programming for us, what would you think is one of your favorite classes that we have? Something outside of, new member orientation is obviously a wealth of information, but that's kind of like a day of having a fire hose of information in your face. So a lot to take in. It's good that, they can get a taste of a little bit of everything that we offer. But as far as contract classes or the various offerings that we have, what do you think is one of your favorites? Something that every realtor should take?
Well, I mean, you've hit on quite a few of them. The contract classes, we do at least 2 a month, and virtual and in person. And we do a lot of the core law and ethics and those kinds of things. Those are all your foundations, right?
Yep.
I will say,
extremely important.
Very, very important. So definitely always, take those. I will say I'm very proud of our professional development committee from 2022 and into this year. We have such a dynamic task force writing courses.
Awesome.
Our real estate school is about to level up. Last year, we added 3, maybe 4 new courses, CE courses that we're able to administer on fair housing, on farming for listings, doing a listing presentation, some of those things that, we think are just so out there and everyone can, figure that out. But when you have a class that's dedicated to it, it just streamlines that learning process for that new realtor trying to get their business together.
Right.
So I'm really excited for the classes that we're authoring right now. And we've got all of our 2023 designation and certifications already on the calendar. I think we've already hosted about 6 different programs, and it's only not even March, or it is March, I guess. But so we're really, really just banging it out in professional development, go to the calendar, use the tags. There's a designation tag, there's contracts,
Oh,
there's
the
law.
tagging is amazing.
It makes it so fast to find what you're looking for.
Exactly. Yeah. And a lot of those classes we offer free of charge, which is
Over
incredible.
90% are free of charge.
Over 90%.
Yeah. You're basically only going to have a fee if it's like a designation class, or
Okay.
some of our specialty CEs are.
And that's something that we have to pay to NAR anyways.
Right. We have to pay royalties. We have to pay an instructor. There's book costs. There's things like that we incur on the front end. So that's where the member registration fees are, then needed. But we also are able to use our big classrooms. We can, economize and make sure that fee is very affordable. And usually we're the lowest one in town.
I'm sure we are.
Because that's what I like to do.
Hey, that's a good way to do it. I mean, we're here for the members, right?
I'm always looking for a good deal for the members.
Yeah, exactly. It actually seems like the majority of staff is always looking for like best bang for the buck for the members.
Mm-hmm.
Try to keep the cost as low as humanly possible, which is always great. I mean, we're here to help those members kickstart their business and thrive throughout the year. So I love all the classes that we offer. I will ask, I'll throw a little nugget out there for everybody who's watching. We're going to get off topic for a second here because we're trying to humanize Mrs. Jessica Lowe. So we're going to talk about her past life just very quickly. In your past life, obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously because many people don't know this. So I'm going to give you a little secret. So you in a past life were actually a pageant contender. And we want to hear a little bit about that. Are there any plans to dust off your old pageant gowns and return to the stage or what?
Yes, I was a pageant contender. I competed in scholarship programs with the Miss America system. 'Cause we're not just a swimsuit competition. We actually have talent and education. And I earned a lot of scholarship money through that. So that was, a very, very big reason why I did it.
That's very cool.
I held titles like Miss South Florida, Miss Broward County, Miss Palm Beach County. I was a top 10 finalist at Miss Florida on my third year, which was the year I termed out. But I have to say, all of that was really, really great. But I think the most fun title I had was Miss Oktoberfest of 2023 or 2013, 10 years ago. This is my 10
years ago, yes. Miss Oktoberfest.
So
we know you guys love Oktoberfest. I love seeing Jared wearing his lederhosen. That's hilarious.
We're a couple of Germans, so we enjoy our cultural festival here in Palm Beach County. But I'd say if I am to dust off a pageant dress, it would probably be Miss Oktoberfest.
Miss Oktoberfest again?
Okay. I can still wear it, so I'll probably put that one on before any of the other gowns.
I know a lot of our members show up to Oktoberfest. That's like people look forward to that every single year. And it's actually coming up, right?
October, but yeah.
Coming up. Oh, okay, in October. That makes sense. Oktoberfest, October.
We do a realtor meetup every year, though, at Oktoberfest.
Yes, we do. Okay, so I've got one last question for you, because obviously we are living in South Florida. We love living in South Florida. We've spoken the last several weeks, spoke about the influx of people coming down to South Florida. So I would like to hear from you. You are based out of Palm Beach Gardens, correct? So it doesn't have to be Palm Beach Gardens, but tell me about a little Florida gem that you absolutely love, something that maybe the people who are listening, the people who are viewing don't necessarily know about. It could be a favorite spot for brunch. It could be a hidden little gem place, a private beach. What is it that you love about living in South Florida?
Okay, born and raised too. I was
born and raised. Okay.
Yes, I did not go far.
We've got a true
colleges,
flow-grown
all
local.
the way through masters, all the way through local colleges and universities. But my favorite, one of my favorite spots, and I love our beaches, but there is a beach that not many people know about. It's called Blowing Rock. It's in Jupiter.
Okay.
And we all think that Florida is like flat and there's no cliffs and there's no cool like rock formations and all this stuff.
No topography whatsoever.
Right. No topography. What a wonderful word. Excellent job. But go to Blowing Rock because there are and they're not mountainous, but they are rocks and you can jump down and then the water splashes up and makes these really cool just splash looks. So pictures are great. It's just really, really a cool beach to go walk around and just see a different topography that we're not normally used to on our beaches. And I will also shout it out, the best breakfast that you'll find. It's in Lake Park, which is North Palm Beach County, and it's called Southern Kitchen.
Okay.
That is the diner to go to.
Good grits?
Oh, amazing grits, but a really, really great omelet, and they put chili on top because that's how your boy likes it. So,
Okay.
yeah, but they are just sweet people, just really, really great diner. Been there through, 50 plus years, so you know it's good.
Okay, awesome. I didn't know that you were going to say Blowing Rocks Park, but funny thing, my sister has been going there like crazy.
Really?
And I said, why are you driving all the way to Jupiter? We live in Pompano Beach, so down in Broward County. And she's taking everybody who comes to town, she's taking them to Blowing Rocks Park for fabulous pictures. And just like you said, when the waves come in and the water's flying in the air, and she's like capturing all these really, really, really cool photos. So definitely a place that I now have to try out because I have not been yet. So maybe I'll ask if she wants to go and take a ride with me. So that was our education podcast. I wore my C2EX t-shirt today just to show everybody that education obviously is key to success in the real estate world, certainly in your business. So make sure you check out your RWorld Dash to find out all of our education offerings. Like Jessica said, we have an amazing calendar that she's put together with tags. You could find out exactly what topic you're looking for. Maybe there's a class there that you didn't even know existed because we're adding new classes all the time.
Every day.
And I believe, do we not have some of these classes also recorded that we can find on our video library?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Look at your face light up.
I know, this library
you talk
is
education
amazing.
and she's just like, yay.
This library has always been something that we've kind of like, we wanted a really, really great library experience. And it's been like, beta test. No, not really what we want. But finally we have the vendor and I have to just shout it out to our VP or our senior VP, Anthony, who's sitting over here looking at me, because he's the one that found this vendor and made this amazing library. And I'm so excited for it. So please check out the library and check out all those recordings that we've been collecting and putting on there for you guys to watch.
For sure. A lot of those courses are now streaming on the RWorld video library, so we could find that straight through the Realtor Dash. Or coming soon, we're going to have the ability for you to be able to just pop those on your TV. So stay tuned for that, and make sure that you do like, subscribe, share the podcast with your friends. It is available on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you get your favorite podcasts from, including Android. For those Android users, those people that give you the green bubbles on your text messages. Just kidding. We love everybody, and no matter what phone they use. So with that, I will bid you adieu, and we will see you guys all back here for episode 5, which is going to drop next week. So thank you very much for watching RWorldTalk.
Thank you so much.